Alrighty, guys, what's going on? Corbin with Corbin's Corn Horror Reviews back again for another episode. And today we have the swag bags Chaos L and Tornado. So, just got these in the other day. Very, very cool bags. I was excited for them. Initially asked Chauncey, I was like, hey, why'd you send me Chaos again? I've already had Chaos. He goes, look at the bag. Those are Chaos L's. I go, oh. Didn't really realize it. So that was sweet. So always like a mail day. Always like them from Swag. They're making really good stuff lately. Really appreciate what they're doing. So before we get into it, I do have a sponsor. Thank you very much to Black Sheep Baggers. BlackSheepBaggers.com. Bags, boards, accessories, apparel, all that good stuff. Their customer service is top notch. I just love those guys, honestly. Use code Corbin5 for 10% off there. And let's get into it. So Chaos L and Tornado. So think of Viper R or Viper R variants. Both, right? So the Chaos L is Viper R, straight up. Materials, all that stuff. But it's the L, so it's got some lighter fill, a little more flop to it, going to be a little more friendly around the hole. There's also a liner on this slow side. So I think he said just slow side. Might be fast side too, but I want to say he said just slow side. But breaking them in, I was like, oh, these feel a little bit different. They feel a little stiffer than normal R carpet. Like R carpet doesn't really need a break in, right? These did. So the Tornado, not so much. No liners in the Tornado. It is our variant carpet, and it's Wizard fast side there. So kind of like a Costello X, basically, is what that one comes down to. So let's get into price. I want to say Swag is like, they're pretty affordable. They're probably 90. I want to say 90 or 100, somewhere in there. Really good bags for the really, really good price, honestly. I think every company should strive to be right around that $100 mark. I think that's fair. They both are ACL comp stamped, which doesn't matter for 99.9% of us. If pros are watching my videos, I'm not really sure why, but it really doesn't matter for the vast majority of us. So break in on these guys. I did Toss Sauce, Primo, Snake Oil, whatever it's called now. I don't actually recall. I did that with just a little bit of Wrinkle Guard, tumbled them afterwards. It always turns out really, really good, so I just continue to do it. If you want to try it out, shoptosssauce.com, Corbin10 for 10% off for you if you want to try it out. I like it. It just does a good job, and I know that after a couple weeks of throwing, the bags are just absolute money. It's just, I like how they feel. My bags are a little bit softer than most, and not overly soft. I just like a little bit of softness in my hand as I'm throwing. I don't like that gritty feeling from just being thrown to break in. So, speeds. So, on the KSL, we got basically 5 to 6, 9, right? 5 to 6 on the slow, 9 on the fast. So our carpet, our fast side, all good, right? The Tornado, I'm going to say 5 to 6 on the slow and 8 on the fast. But the slow probably remains more closer to that 5 area. I think that variant carpet typically plays a little slower. Used to think it was a little quicker until I played with it a lot more. When it gets a little bit dirty, it definitely slows up more than the R carpet to me. 3Fs, feel flop. So fill on the L, I want to say they're both mixed, is what Chauncey said. I could be wrong. This one could be all disc, but it's definitely different than the regular Chaos. But it's got a little bit less in it, because it's the L version. So the fill on that one, it's going to be a little floppier bag in your hand. The Tornado, I'd say that one's definitely mixed just by how puffy it is. And it's not overly puffy, but compared to the L, it feels very puffy just because that L is the light version, right? But the fill on both of them is great. I mean, it's not chunky, it's not gross, whatever. It just feels good in the hand. Overall feel, great. Corner seams, edges are awesome. Closing stitch is good. It's kind of one of the smaller closing stitches, not the big, long, like ultra ones. Doesn't really matter to me, honestly. As long as it's in good shape, I really don't care. Sublimation is awesome on both of them. Tornadoes, a little more plain of a bag. The KSL, it's the launch version. It's got a little more spice to it, right? It's got the tiger on there. It's pretty cool, really colorful. But that looks nice. Everything's good with those. And overall flop, I mean, the KSL is definitely gonna be a floppier bag, just the way it is. It's the L version, right? So think about Wizards and Wizard Ls. I mean, the Wizard is definitely puffier than the Wizard L. So Tornado, I mean, it's still got a decent amount of flop to it, but it's definitely a puffier bag than the KSL. So let's go with playability. It's going to be the exact same on both, right? So we got blocks, pushes, cuts, flops, rolls, air mails, sneak around and drop, mostly fast side, maybe a little bit of slow side depending on conditions, but typically fast side is going to do that one for you. The cuts are going to be really nice on both of them. Flops, the Tornado flops better than the L just because of the fill variation there. But let's throw them a little bit, see if I can do anything with them. We do have some wind to my back here. It is blowing down the driveway that way. So you can see in the tassels on Kai's bike. So when I'm throwing this way, might nosedive some, might leave some a little bit short when I'm throwing that way. Who really knows what's going to happen? So let's start with the L. We're starting on slow side, of course. It just climbs nicely. Don't have any issues with that. The liner I can feel, um, and it's not a bad feel. I can just tell because when you pick up a Viper R or a Chaos or anything like that, oops, you know how it's going to feel, right? These don't feel like that. The cool part about it is that there we go. That threw me off so bad. That bag falling off. The cool part about it is that they are going to be crazy friendly because with liners, I don't know if you guys know, a lot of people put liners in their bags to prevent, damage and stretching and stuff like that. Because if the material stretches, oh my gosh, I'm just totally off. Just don't worry about me throwing. If the material stretches, which inevitably it will, right? It's fabric. So when the material stretches, can I throw a single bag down the middle? When that material stretches, beads could come out, right? The pellets inside. Yeah, we got one. Pellets inside could come out. So a lot of people put a liner in there to prevent those pellets from coming out. Because then even if that material stretches, which inevitably it will, the beads won't come out. Now, the other use of a liner is actually pretty cool. It makes it so that the beads, when they're sitting there in the bag, and the bag's like sitting on the edge of the hole, the beads can move around more freely. There is less friction. Yeah, that was a poor throw, but that was also a wind gust. There's more friction when you have just the materials of the bag, right? So if you have a liner in there, say it's kind of a silky material, anything like that, yeah, it's hard to throw with the wind in my face like this. May not look like it's blowing a lot. I'm sure you can see it in this camera because this camera is waving back and forth, but it's definitely blowing in my face right now. Launch that bag in the air. Maybe if I put the hoodie on, it'll help. Hopefully, that'll help you guys a little bit, um, volume wise. But when you put that liner in there, it makes it so that there's a slicker material for the beads to be against. So gravity, right? I mean, they wanna. So the gusts are killing me. Um, when those beads are falling, there's less resistance on them. So, should I just redo this video, Chauncey? Because my first down and back is absolutely horrendous. Bags all over the place. Can't do anything with it. We'll get better. We'll go that way. We'll get better. This wind is it's blowing, but that liner just helps the bag retain some friendliness. It's really what it comes down to. So let's go fast side here. Fast side on the Chaos. It's gonna be a little bit quicker. I don't like throwing with that hoodie. Chaos is gonna be a 9. Tornado gonna be an 8. It's actually the same material. They just flip it. So the 9 is kind of the back side of it. The 8 is the show side. Not really relevant, but interesting to know. Hey, look, fast side 4-bagger. I don't have to throw into the wind. It's a lot easier. Just goes to show that I can throw a bag. But what's interesting about this, though, is the tornado here, throwing it high, it almost seems a little bit quicker. Might be because of the fill. Sometimes with a lot of fast bags, the fill is actually, that's left. The fill actually becomes a detriment to it because they want it so friendly, they want it so soft, basically, that when you're trying to push a bag, you can't. Oh, threw it a little too hard. The fill basically collapses on itself as you're pushing because the materials have no rigidity to them and they just clump up, and then you're not going to get good pushes out of it. So sometimes a more full bag can seem like the faster bag in a given situation because of that, because it'll just go through. The fill almost helps it move forward. So that's kind of the case here. Oops. Kind of the case here, but could also be that I was just throwing with wind at my back and it made it easier. I don't know. I'm just going to keep doing that with the wind gust in my face. I just recorded a video not even 10 minutes ago. Wind was not like this. And that bag should have been off the board. Okay. Power through. Act like we're at Spencer McKenzie's or something. Never been out there. Heard it's fun. The wind would actually just piss me off. But, if you throw a flat bag with A lot of revs, you'll be okay. I'm struggling to do it at the moment. Gotta throw it hard. Like that. Not hard. Flat back. Maybe I need to throw in the wind more to get my flatness back because I've been, see, that nose down crap. I've been doing that a lot lately. It's bugging me. Work in progress. That's what this game is. Always work in progress. But I mean, I like how they play. The tornadoes are going to be a little bouncier. Hopefully, I can lay a block on the way down there and do some stuff with it. Trying, trying really hard. You know, tornadoes are a little more full. They're going to be a little bouncier. There we go. Now let's just flop 6 bags in a row. So the L's will do it. Completely ruined my block. I don't know why I got to do that to myself. 3 bag collect. Bags gone. Absolutely gone. Maybe a little step out cut flop-ish thing here. I don't know. I don't know what I was trying to do. Just missed. The tornadoes are a little bouncier. That's all. They want to do it. See? They want to do it a little more. They're just a little more full. A little easier to flop them. A little easier to do a little hop skip there. Flop, hop skip. I don't really care what it is. I like it. I missed that one left. Stay on. Thank you. But, I mean, tornadoes are going to be a little more floppier, like flop friendly, let's put it that way. The KSLs are going to be more friendly around the hole. So, kind of depends on what you want. Depends on how you play. Depends on what speeds you like. You know, KSL is going to be the little bit faster bag. Tornado is going to be the little slower bag. Both going to be decently friendly. Good speeds on both, honestly. I like them both. Just depends on hand feel, really. Because you got to get that liner broke down on the KSL. There is no liner in the Tornado. So it really depends on what you like, but 2 good offerings, I think, from Swag here. They also sent me the Maniac. The Maniac is herringbone with a crazy fast side. And I'll get into that after I throw them quite a bit because you got to get used to that fast side. See, they will pop. You just got to have the right English on them. Yeah, I'll get into that bag after I throw it a lot because I got to get used to that fast side. And I'm going to go for a really hard push, then an airmail to finish because this video is already getting long. That's what happens when you spotlight bags. Nah, I don't hate that. Missed it left, but not a horrible outcome. Airmail to finish here, see what we can do. Yeah, felt good. Hard at the wind, but that, guys, is the swag bags, Tornado, and the KSL. Honestly, I think I like the Tornado better. Just with how it plays, how it feels in my hand. I would get used to this liner. It would be okay. It's just I like something a touch slower and not quite Viper R-ish. That's just me. Kind of a hard choice. I mean, it depends how I'm feeling that day, I guess. If my roll is good, then Tornado. If it's not, and I just need to go hole for hole, Chaos L. I don't really think you can go wrong with either one of them. Swag's just making really good stuff lately. But personal preference, I think Tornado just a little bit better for me. But both really solid choices. So anyway, that is the short and sweet on the Swag Bags Tornado and the Chaos L. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with your buddies, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.